This is the view from Shanahan Mountain. So this is the top of Shanahan Mountain, part of the Shanahan Walking Trail, which is a short 3-kilometer circuit here in Namadgi National Park. So given some of my recent videos, which have been a little bit longer, a bit more hectic hiking wise, I thought I'd do something a little bit more chill. But also I'm out here testing out a new little setup, as you might have seen by all the bag switching between shots. Sorry about that. I'm rocking my usual main camera Z8 rather than my little Fuji, and just recording on my phone as well. I'm sort of interested to see if that extra flexibility with these cameras might lend to some different results, but just out here doing a little test to see how it goes. As you can see behind me, this is the view from Shanahan Mountain. It's a pretty stunning view. We are looking out the back of the Tidbinbilla mountain range, as you can see behind me, which is where I was in my previous 2 videos. Now, this is a spot I have been to before, quite some years ago. And since then, because I believe when I was there before, some bushfires had recently gone through, the area has regrown quite a bit. Which means the views are a little bit more limited than last time. So this is really your main lookout. Having been here before, and from my experience last time, we are looking sort of like for a sweet spot for when it's best to shoot golden hour here. Now what I mean by that is behind you, behind the camera, the sun is setting, okay, in this direction, and which means that the shadows from this mountain are being cast into the valley below. And that's basically going to get raised as the sun gets lower in the sky, if you can kind of imagine it like a seesaw. And there is a sweet spot in this spot where you get enough shadows in the valley, but also enough of that golden light on the mountains to sort of create a nice even balance. So that's really what I'm going to wait for. Probably got about half an hour or so for that to happen. We'll see what happens, of course, but that's the plan. But otherwise, I'm kind of okay having a little bit of a nice chill afternoon here, because this spot is really quite lovely. So that is it, pretty much peak light, 7:42 at the moment. So we've got about half an hour until the sun sets below the horizon. But right now, as you can see behind me, we're pretty much at that sweet spot I mentioned earlier with the shadows and the golden light. I'll grab some more shots on the way out though, but otherwise that is pretty much it. This is pretty much my last adventure for the year. Not the last one I'll film, but definitely the last one I'll post. I hope you enjoyed this year's content. It's been something a little bit different for me, a little bit new, a little bit odd. Sort of trying to just push myself a bit more creatively. So I know a few of you have been enjoying them, but if you could share them around with anyone you know, that would be much appreciated. But I'll head back home now, because it's a bit of a drive back. I hope you enjoyed this little adventure, and I'll see you next year.